So, good evening, everybody. My name is Dr. Vera Triplett, and I am the founder and CEO of the Noble Minds Institute for Whole Child Learning. I have been at a unique cross-section of education, children's mental health, and juvenile justice for the past 25 years, and I bring all of that into this idea for Noble Minds. The pictures that you'll see in these slides are actually from pop-up schools that we conducted over the summer, and so these are actual students and actual activities that we did and worked with over the summer. And so here's the problem. We have had a great deal of reform in the city of New Orleans that has been hugely successful. The problem is that we have relied on the silver bullet approach of the no excuses school model that works for some kids but does not work for others. The other problem, quite frankly, is that we have a suspension and expulsion rate that is at an all-time high. Nearly 300,000 kids in Louisiana were suspended or expelled this year. The vast majority of those kids are African American males, and they are also disproportionately special needs kids. And the J factor, joy, is largely absent from the learning environment. As an upper level administrator, I had the opportunity to visit schools all over the state of Louisiana, and what I heard consistently from both teachers and students is that, yes, we're teaching better than we ever had before, and kids were saying that we are learning better than we ever had before, but we hate the experience of the school. So, enter Noble Mind. It is a learning lab where the experience is as important as the learning, where we focus on both academic and personal development. The driving principles don't differ from most reform model schools: closing the achievement gap, academic achievement, high level of instructional quality. But what is different is the way that we go about it. The way that we actualize these principles is how we differentiate ourselves. A whole child approach, multi-grade level classrooms, uniquely qualified instructors, tight feedback loops, collaborative inquiry, and a restorative justice approach to discipline. No suspensions, no expulsions. How do we know it will work? Because it's already working. That's Taven. He is 4 years old and he has Down syndrome, and he came to all of our pop-up schools this summer. In the past, he was not, quite frankly, welcomed in a classroom with other kids. And he performed very successfully with us over the summer. How do we know it's working? Teachers are reporting, and school leaders and parents, quite frankly, because our kids are already back in school, that our kids have been able to successfully navigate the next phase of their educational journey. They have increased their executive functioning skill set. They're able to prioritize and set goals and make plans for the future of their learning. They are able to communicate better effectively with both peers and adults. And I think that we all know that communication is one of the root causes of conflict. And so the ability to communicate effectively is something that is incredibly important to our students. Why do I think this works? It's because we do focus so much on the experience. The experience for them of learning was as satisfying as the learning. And one of the things that's been interesting since we finished this last phase of pop-up schools is that parents are saying to me, you know what I'm concerned about? The fact that that fire that you ignited in them with the pop-up schools is now being extinguished by the reality of the culture of the school that they have to go to every day. And so this therapeutic and supportive environment is not an afterthought. It is an intentional integration into the school day. It's not an add-on, it's not an ancillary. It is a part of who we are. What's next for us? We will resume pop-up schools this September for the next 4 months, and then after the holidays for the last 4 months of the year. We will launch a school within a school model with 2 classrooms in 2015 and 2016, and we will go to full launch in the fall of 2016.
So this was not easy.
Yeah, so that's me, looking a lot more like my mom than I would like. The woman in the middle is a woman named Christine Barker, who's worked for me for a number of years. She's been volunteering for this project, and she will be our operations person. The woman on the far left, to my far left, is a woman named Deborah Harley, who has had nearly 25 years in the Montessori education environment. That is Joe Dashbach, who is our finance person, and our lead administrative assistant is Susan Wetlis.
You spoke of tight feedback loops. Can you talk a bit about parent involvement in that process?
Yeah, so part of this model that I am really, really excited about is the fact that parents are so incredibly involved in it. One of the things that we do is we build student profiles of the students at the beginning before they start to school. And a big part of that is interviewing the parents about what their 3 major concerns are for their children. We also do an interview with the school to find out what their 3 major concerns are about the same child. And we try to do a pre and post sort of evaluation of how they feel at the beginning of when they start our project and at the end. So the parents are able to tell us exactly what they feel the issues are that their kids need to have addressed. And also, because we do have the counseling, the individual counseling, the group counseling, the play therapy, the multi-family group counseling, parents are encouraged and have largely participated in this model with us.
Where's your funding coming from?
Our funding will come from MFP for the most part, and hopefully some private funding to help us with sort of the additional staff that we need to make our model work. So we call our instructional model a modified Montessori model. We do a lot of center-based learning in the morning, and then in the afternoon we break down into small groups and in individuals. So we've already started to work with AmeriCorps City Year and develop partnerships with them so that we can get those additional bodies into the building. So a federal funding, state funding, and hopefully private funding.